what's funny is though, because I looked back, right? And
yeah.
And the lesson always is stepping out of your comfort zone is going to promote growth.
Right.
Right. So you guys were always so comfortable with Pork Chuck. Especially Scott. Just because it was like second nature to him. Right.
Yeah.
For you guys, there was probably a little bit of an adjustment, but you've done a lot of live stuff and Brandon hadn't done a ton of live stuff. And I did zero of anything. So, but doing it, I look back and Scott paid me a great compliment. He goes, man, I don't know how you do it. Like, I would never try something like this if I've never done it before.
Yeah.
He goes, he said, I wish I had that in me, because I can't sing. I'm sure I could sing something, but like when I did a thing with him and Emily at Jack and Jameson's, and I sang a song, dude, for the first time ever. Like, I was so nervous, but I'm like, I'm just going to do it and go for it.
Well, there was that, there was that time when you wrote that song with Jonathan and you were really, you were really flexing that muscle, and that was really cool.
I'd say, why not try it? You'll never know until you try. And then especially now with us going on the road and doing kind of stand-up-ish stuff.
Right.
That's a whole, I'm way more comfortable doing that than I am Pork Chuck.
That's funny because Pork Chuck was such a breeze for me in terms of like, because, I know if, once lyrics are in me, I'm pretty confident about the lyrics. Like, and obviously when you're doing like spoken word rap stuff,
sure.
And it's the pitter patter of that, and you're not as used to doing that. But so for me, like, I don't know, I always felt like, I always felt safe walking onto up the Pork Chuck stage with the band and the four of you. Like that I felt safe in the numbers, and I knew what I was doing, and I knew it would just be fun. The anxiety I had before our shows is certainly higher than Pork Chuck.
I don't know why.
I do,
dude. Why? Why is that?
I never thought that I would. It never occurred to me that I would be on the Pork Chuck stage and have complete silence and no one to help me. That can happen on an SDNJ stage.
Sure can. But isn't that make it fun? To me, that makes it fun.
Oh yeah.
Like that's exciting. Like that's exciting.
Yeah, but the stakes are higher.
Sure. The stakes are way higher. But listen, every comedian, those guys that do what they do, they bomb all the time. Like, and here's the thing. We can assess, because like we're going back through old shows right now.
Right.
We're doing, I'm looking at West Palm from the beginning of last year. And Pittsburgh from, I think 19,
I think so. Yeah. It was our second show that we did there. It wasn't the first.
It was 19. So
I don't want to see a video of the first one we did there.
Oh gosh, no. And then we have Kansas City, last year's Kansas City, right?
The audio, right?
The audio. Yeah. The audio. Yeah. And when you're talking about these guys coming up you have to bomb as a stand-up comedian. You just that's part of it. Like you're going to get punched in the mouth all the time. And that's how you learn. It's the worst profession ever and the best, because you really have to pay your dues if you're really going to do it. Right.
Right.
Luckily for us, we have a automatically receptive audience.
Yeah.
And, we can't really mess up too much from the audience's point of view. We're not messing up when we feel that we're messing up. Like I listened to Kansas City. Like when you sent those to me, I listened to them on my ride home. West Palm was actually really good. Like if I was going to say for our performance overall, we did a good job. I'm not going to ever say we did a great job and it was excellent and awesome, but we did a good job. Kansas City.
You're really selling us here.
No, but Kansas City, well, I'm just saying there's a learning curve that we have to go through. Of course. And in Kansas City, you were great. And then I sucked so bad. Like
what?
Oh, dude, it was the worst. When I listened to this thing, I had to turn it off. I go, who is this? What happened? What day was this? What day number was this? What can I do to avoid this situation again? Because it made me hurt inside. Like it was not great for me to listen to. So anyway,
I feel like my opening is there is some protection in it because of the music.
Well, because you're singing, of course.
Right.
Sure.
And the things that connect, I don't need as much. I don't need as many jokes. I don't need as many stories.
Mhm.
And also like you're self-deprecating in your stuff, but like my brand is super self-deprecating.
Mhm.
Like it's
Right.
like it is like I can't imagine writing 25 minutes of material like you have. I can't imagine.
Well, thank you. But
You are a natural storyteller. I remember doing these events, in the late aughts with you, 7, 8, 9, and you would go out there for a half hour and just tell stories. And yeah, you'd have a springboard of a question or something, which is
Sure.
something we used to do in our show. And you're very comfortable in that because there are so many stories that you have just ready to go.
Yeah, totally.
So, but scripting something is different.
It is. And the timing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because we don't get to warm up with an audience. So we don't know the timing. You don't know when to let a joke breathe, or you don't know when to just keep going.
Right.
It's Nate, the guy I sent you, the comedian, Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
Bargatze. Yeah. So he just filmed a special, right? He did the Tennessee Kid, which was very funny. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And then he just did another one, something, I can't remember what it was called, but he did it. And how he got this special was he went in front of, he did some of the drive-ins where people were in their cars.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So normally his set would be an hour 15, but he couldn't hear the laughs. So it was 42 minutes.
He just talked over the laughs?
Well, because he couldn't hear the laughs in the car.
Well, yeah, they're in the car.
Right. So you don't know. So he just kept going. Like there was no waiting, no breathing, because
How did that work? How did that work recorded? They filmed the drive.
No, they did not film that. Then they filmed, the same thing happened. They filmed 2 of his specials and he couldn't hear people laugh through the mask.
Oh yeah.
So what they had to do was they had to actually mic each table.
Oh, wow.
So he could hear. And it was just like, he goes, even live, my first one with an audience, I couldn't hear them. It was 40 something minutes. And then it was an hour plus. So anyway,
that's interesting. I never thought about, potential muffled noises for masks. That's going to be I'm sure that's something we'll run into.
Yeah. Some people are going to have masks and, be laughing and we're just going to see.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It'll be the shaking which will be the, that's funny.
We're like, hey, you're shaking. We can move on to the next joke.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.